Hey, sweet souls. This is DTO in the flow, wanting you to know that I am here at Embody Costa Rica, here on this beautiful land in Atenas, a charming little mountain town. And this is where I'm going to be podcasting today. So thank you for joining. As always, I want to invite you to come onto our land, and I want to make sure that you know that the intention of today's podcast is to talk about our Embody Ecstatic dance happening November 18th at 11:11 a.m. We welcome you to come, share this, invite a friend. And we also want to share that we are hosting our annual retreat here, this beautiful land. Pura vida. If you haven't been to Costa Rica, come on down. The water is warm. And during this podcast, I want to make sure that you know that you can comment, ask a question. Sharing is caring. And to help us with those hungry algorithms, we got to feed them. Give them some of your favorite emojis. So then this interview will float to the top. And as always, you can check me out on all the platforms, dtomusic.com, DTO Music on all the social media places and spaces. And as I welcome you in to Embody Costa Rica. All right. So today, can't wait to bring on my guests in just a moment. We're going to speak with DJ Shae, who is an open format DJ from New York who gained her experience DJing at clubs and events throughout the US and Mexico, mixing genres that include deep, progressive, and disco house, electronic dance music, hip hop, R&B, rhythm and blues, and dance music. Now based in Costa Rica, DJ Shae enjoys interweaving world music, organic and Afro house, South American, tribal music, shamanic drums, healing mantras, and solfeggio frequencies into her ecstatic dance experiences. DJ Shae has experience as being a yoga and meditation teacher, breath coach, energy healer, and this makes her well equipped to hold space for massive transformational breakthroughs. Where? Right here at Embody Costa Rica. We are in the place. All right, without further ado, let's bring on the amazing DJ Shae.
Oh, hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's another day in paradise. We both
Oh,
get to live in
yeah.
Costa Rica.
Yeah. It's so beautiful here. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, as you can see in the background, we have this amazing event that we just blew the lid off this place last month. So much that we're claiming that the third Saturday of every month at Embody Costa Rica will be an ecstatic dance experience because the people came, we
Yeah.
danced, we played, we laughed, we went through whatever emotions were needing to be passed through us. And in the end, it was just such a glorious moment that we all came together. So thank you for leading that with your beautiful music, as well as your ways of taking people on a journey. So
Mm.
before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that everyone knows this is a 5Q interview. And we are going to kick it off with the first question, which I love. It's always the origin story. So how did this all begin for DJ Shae? So question number one, how
Yeah.
did you discover music?
That's a great question. I think it's something that a lot of musicians are asked. But I just don't remember life without music. I remember that one of my earliest memories was that I was writing a song before I could talk. So I just remembered like trying to make up words to go to a melody, and literally just writing music without words. So that's my earliest memory. And then I started singing when I was 2 in my father's church. So I grew up in church listening to all kinds of music, classical as well, gospel. And that really became a part of who I was. I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music until I got older. And when I did, I just did a deep dive into all kinds of music. I felt like I needed to catch up. So I just gorged on all kinds of music, world music, blues, rhythm and blues, rap, hip hop, R&B, um, rock. And, you know, that's really my background. So my parents both, my mom played piano. My dad was a doo-wop singer. My granddad was a jazz musician. And so I started singing when I was 2 and playing piano when I was 6, playing violin when I was 8, and then guitar, bass guitar as I got older. And then as I started traveling the world, I started to develop an appreciation for DJs. And I got a music lesson, a DJ class, and I was hooked in the first 5 minutes. And I got an agent back in New York. And as they say, I guess the rest is history.
I want to share with everyone some photos. There's a photo that you were DJing. I'm going to pull that up so everyone has a visual what it looks like for you. Moving and grooving.
Yes.
And I love that you said you cannot remember life without music, right? And of course, now you have music, you have the jungles of Costa Rica. It's a gorgeous photo of you and your elements.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, you so much embody this life as an artist, a musician, as a DJ, to bring uplifting moments into our lives. We can, of course, do life in silence sometimes, but it's, as you said, without music, like, would it still be the same? It's so hard to even ponder that one. That's a whole other podcast. Could we live without music? Because there's now like scientific research and studies that show the impact of how music can move people and sound healing. And it's real, it's exactly on a cellular level. There's the most powerful documentary I saw is there's a bunch of people, elderly people that were in a retirement home, and they were just in silence. And there's this program, and these college kids brought music, and they were playing. You mentioned doo-wop. They were playing like old like music that was really happening in their age, that back in the day. And their faces just lit up, and it was like better than any medicine that you could have given them. It just really moved them. So if anyone hasn't seen that, I highly recommend. It's such a impactful way that music is like life in so many ways for people. It
really is.
Absolutely support us.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect. So then you got to be in a family where music was so important, and from the classical, from the church music, from all these different genres. So question number 2 would be, was it a single like moment that happened, or was it like a slow burn over time that you were like, hey, I want to start producing. I want to actually be the one behind the decks. I want to actually guide and lead people through these musical experiences. So tell us what inspired you to create your own.
I think like I was saying, since I was 2, and even before then, I was writing my own songs. So I think it's just something that's happened naturally. It's just been an evolution of my musical growth, I think, with starting with music via instruments and singing. And then I started singing for many, many years. I think that I have been one who has recognized trends as well. And I kind of like to be on the leading side of a trend, as opposed to lagging behind. And what I realized was that there was not a huge representation of female DJs. So the way I actually started DJing was I wanted to be an agent for female DJs. And I was going to hold auditions for DJs. And I figured, wow, well, I need to know, what I'm looking at. I need to know if a DJ is good or not at the audition. So let me just take one class. So I booked a DJ teacher in Sweden where I was living at the time. And I booked a 5-hour class. And like I said, within the first 5 minutes, I was hooked. And so instead of starting an agency, I just started DJing myself, and I just fell in love with it. And I think from that, I think, DJs are just creators in general. And that's something that I didn't understand until I started DJing myself. And that's that, you're creating music, you might be moving from one song to the next, but the way you get there is such a creative process. And that just opens the floodgates and the doors for you to create your own music. And so since I was already writing my own music on piano and singing, it just kind of happened naturally that I went into production and started producing music as well as DJing. So yeah.
So good. Yes. Well, I love the shift though, because
Mm,
what's interesting is the ecstatic dances that we've held so far have only been with empowered, amazing, beautiful women that are
mhm.
really sharing like their gifts in the world, just inside and out about the journey here and just
Yeah,
being lit up as a soul. And so
yeah, I love that.
perhaps we'll let men get on the decks. But that's been the energy. But if anyone listening hasn't been to Costa Rica, it's such a divine, feminine, powerful
It is.
land. Like you're in Pachamama, you're in nature.
Yeah.
It's Himalaya would say Shakti energy, you know. So
Yes,
you're in
yeah,
this divine feminine place. And
yeah.
so it makes sense, right?
It does.
Um,
It really does.
and I would say this that a lot of people that attend ecstatic dances, that get into meditation, yoga, that healing path, from my
Yeah.
own personal journey, I remember for many years, I was like the token male in yoga classes. It'd be like 20 women, and there'd be this random, you know, guy in the back. It was great. I had the locker room to myself. But then later on, as the years went on, it was like, oh, there's other people that could
Yeah.
use the locker room besides just me. So,
Yes,
and
yes.
that was even in California. That was like pretty progressive in San Diego. I
Yeah.
can imagine like certain places like my roots in Iowa, maybe it's like a
Mm,
higher split where there's
yeah,
more women that are on this path.
yeah.
And so, with that said, I love how the goal was to support female DJs, and then that
Mhm.
shifted into like a whole other place because you're actually embodying that. You are the proof in the pudding of, besides saying I'm on behind the scenes
Yeah,
supporting, like you are in the front making it happen. So that's
yeah.
amazing. It's the same
So
idea,
unexpected.
right?
Yeah, it is. So unexpected. Never saw myself doing it, but
Yeah. Now you got
yeah.
to manage yourself.
Right.
Totally. Amazing. All right. Well, let's jump into numero tres.
Mm,
And how do people respond to your music? Give us some
mhm.
stories or
Yeah.
what you've observed. Love to hear how it's been.
Aw, this question is probably gonna make me a little bit emotional because, with my background as singing, of singing in churches, um, you know, I for as long as I can remember, you know, people would come up to me crying um, after a praise and worship or a selection, and they would just come up to me just really crying, and I think that for me, it was weird for me to see that, because I just knew that I was singing from my heart, and not paying any attention whatsoever to what's going on out there. I'm just here and just expressing myself and what I feel, and my emotions and my own connection. I think to source was coming through, and what I realized when I got older was that I was channeling for sure some messages for the people because you know, um, I would kind of ad lib. And some people would say, "Oh, that message was specifically for me," and I'm like, "Okay." But then, as I started DJing and just moving into different styles of music, I think that same energy, that same kind of channel, that same kind of just opening myself up to be a channel and a vessel, just transformed. And it's so funny also because even before I started actually DJing on the decks, like I was teaching yoga and creating my own playlists in that kind of environment, in that space. And I curated the DJ list, the music list, excuse me, the playlist to have this flow where it started off really meditative, but it really took you on this journey. And I would create these. yoga sequences to match this kind of energetic flow. And so that followed me to my shift to ecstatic dance, because I used to do just regular parties. But then it really helped me when I shifted to ecstatic dance to really pull out this kind of energy where people are connecting more deeply to themselves, to the soul, um, as opposed to, the external. And that is really beautiful for me to witness and be a part of.
Yes. The community aspect is so much what I believe people are seeking these days.
Yeah.
Right? It's one thing to go to a club one night, do your thing, come home, feel exhausted, probably have a hangover, and
Yeah.
feel energetically like wobbly, like what the heck was that?
Yeah.
It's a whole other experience. And so for people that don't understand ecstatic dances, it's a sober event. People come with intention. We circle up at the beginning and we really share um, space in a really beautiful way.
Wow.
Here's a photo of our grand opening event.
Beautiful.
And just having people be there with the ability to, transform. Here's a
Yeah.
great photo when
Oh,
we were at a
wow.
festival sharing
Yeah.
intentions. And
Love
so
that.
there's a whole movement. Some people don't even know the M in Embody stands for movements, right? Empowerment, movement, breakthroughs, opportunities, dharma, and yoga. That's the
Wow.
6-pillar curricular pathway of Embody. So there's a movement happening, might be breaking news for certain people, of ecstatic dances. I
Yeah.
still, to this day, couldn't have dreamt of how music can take people where you're not speaking, there's no conversations, you kind of get out of the head, you're not in this like chit chatty
Yeah.
conversational piece, because that takes you out of the body, and to
Yeah.
really be embodied, you're present. You're just
Yes.
realizing too, things come up. Like I still have this memory when I was at my first high school dance. I was dating a sophomore, and I remember it was like after a game, and it was like the Friday night dance, and she was like lit up, and she's like grab my hand, like take me on the dance floor. For some reason, I like froze, the fight or flight freeze. I like froze because I was like, uh-oh, I don't know any cool dance moves. I mean, I watched Electric Boogaloo. I had something up my sleeve, but I was like,
Oh,
I
no.
just froze. I didn't want to dance because I wanted to avoid looking bad. I wanted to look cool.
Wow, yeah.
And so
Yep.
ecstatic dance is for a lot of people. Like, I have my own story around this I'm sharing in this moment.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for that to like heal, where I'm
Yeah.
not needing to concern myself what other people are going to say or judge. It's
Yeah.
really, as you can see here on the flyer, ecstatic
Yeah.
dance is heart opening,
Yeah.
connection, emotional release, bliss, stress reductions, relaxation. And so there's these opportunities for us to come into a place of connection. And as I said, so many people are looking for community and they're seeking their people. Like,
Yeah.
how many people even listening now are like, my family doesn't get me, they don't understand me, or my old friends, they just want to do this all the time, and I'm not into that anymore.
Right.
So as you evolve, as you grow, as you shift,
Yeah.
because there's a movement within ourselves that's always happening. Right now,
Yes.
our breath is moving, our blood is moving, and
Yeah.
certain people choose stagnation in their life. And as I said in that crazy story about a school dance, I was like stagnant. Then it was like later I started to realize, okay, I can move and it's cool. And of course, moving to Latin
Mhm.
America, like people salsa dance and merengue
Yeah.
dance and bachata,
Yeah.
and there's all these fun partner dances.
Yeah.
So there's something about moving your body however your body chooses to move.
Yes, absolutely. The body keeps the score and the body knows what it needs to release, And so we invite this kind of intuitive movement, this intuitive flow where we're allowing our body to dictate the show, and dictate what it needs to release. If my arm flies up like this, on its own, there's no judgment there. My arm needed to release some energy. And so it's one of the most healing movement practices that we can do.
Totally, and that's what's great. Just
It is so
let it
great.
let it be however
Let
it's
it
supposed
flow.
to.
Yeah,
So perfect.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that. All right. Well, let's jump in to talk about our remaining ecstatic dances of 2023. So November 18th as well as December 16th. And we're going to roll a clip that is on Instagram, Facebook, all the places and spaces, so you can learn more about what is coming up.
What's up, everybody? I'm DJ Shae. I'm an ecstatic dance DJ here in Costa Rica. I know what kind of genres that I like to call upon during my ecstatic dance events, but I would love to know, what are your favorite genres? There's a ton of genres that ecstatic dance DJs are able to pull from for an event. But I'd love to know, what are your favorite genres? What makes you move? What makes you feel free? What makes you feel completely uninhibited? Let me know in the comments. And if you happen to be here in Costa Rica next Saturday, November 18th, I invite you to join us for our ecstatic dance event taking place at Embody Costa Rica in Atenas, Costa Rica. We're starting at 11:11, but please make sure you get there at least 15 minutes before. Earlier is even better, so you can get settled into the space. We would love to have you there. Details are below on how to get there, but please make sure you let me know, what is your favorite ecstatic dance genre? Thank you for being here. Namaste and pura
vida. Yay. I love it. Oh, you're muted.
People have to experience it to truly embody what ecstatic dance is. And I love the video because it gives a general idea of like what kind of energy is flowing in this beautiful space at Embody and the souls that get to come. So yes, we are here in Atenas, Costa Rica. If you have Google Maps or Waze, all you have to do is type in Embody Costa Rica. It'll show you directions, how to get here. And yeah, we welcome all of you to come. And I think it's a great opportunity right now too to share some of what you actually have accomplished in your DJ career. And you can see this beautiful collage that I had at the very beginning of the podcast, all the different venues. I'm sure you have all these memories of the photo shoots and all the spots.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of my favorite, one of the events or locations that really made me say, whoa, holy crap, I can't believe I'm DJing, was Carnegie Hall. You know,
wow.
As a classically trained musician and singer, I've heard of Carnegie Hall since I was so young, never imagined that I'd be DJing there for an event. So yeah, that was really cool.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's watch a video of some of you and your magic. Here we go. Yes.
Yay.
Love it. So amazing.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's jump into 5.
Yeah.
Número 5. So what kind of closing words, advice, or wisdom do you have?
I think one of the things that I've learned most in my life is to follow my own inner voice. There is hell to pay when that is not followed. And it's, we're so afraid of what others will think or say about us. But when we're not following our own inner wisdom, that's when the real pain comes. And so no matter how crazy you may look or sound, if you are following your inner voice, you're always right. So that's my best advice that I can give to folks.
Absolutely. So important. Yeah. And to see you taking your own advice and witnessing your joy and your success that you're having in so many ways, and to have the commitment to choosing a life that you love. That takes courage in this day and age, right? Because there's so many ways we can get distracted and old belief systems that are telling us to do this and this and that, and because you came from a family of this or that, you need to do this.
Yeah.
We get to create our own destiny, and that's what's awesome for so many of us, that when we awaken to that possibility, it's like, say yes.
Definitely. You have to say yes. You have to say yes. Yeah.
So good. Well, I appreciate you being here today. It means so much. And I want to make sure that everyone knows how to find you. So if you go to djshae.com, you go to Instagram and check out DJ Shae there. The promo video that we showed earlier is a representation of some of the amazing inspirational content that's being put out there for you to feel inspired, and for you to really come and enjoy what it is that we're here to share at Embody. So you can see the promo we did last time. There's Himalaya, our amazing ecstatic dances. And we're only 25 minutes from the airport, international, the capital of San Jose, Costa Rica. So who knows, maybe just fly in for the event.
Yes.
Some of you worldly people with passports.
Exactly. We got everything else covered. Come on
We've
in.
had people come from the Caribbean side as well as the Pacific Ocean before. We had some friends, Jason and Callie, that run a retreat center on the Caribbean side. They came, had some other friends that drove here. So we've had both coasts of Costa Rica represented before. And we're in the Central Valley. We're in the beautiful mountains. So thanks again, DJ Shae, for being here. You're amazing. Can't wait to be in the bliss on Saturday. So everyone out there, this is your final request on this podcast to save the date. Come on out, enjoy the community. Go to embodycostarica.com. And if you go to embodycostarica.com/events, then you can see our event page if you want to prepay. And it starts at 11:11 a.m. We do suggest that you get here early for parking and just enjoy the land and just put your feet on the earth and feel this beautiful collective space that we're here to share with one another. So
and we've also got one in December 16th, I believe.
We do, so third Saturday of every month, December 16th, is another opportunity for you to come and around the holidays to really enjoy being together. And there's a lot of people that tend to be in Costa Rica that sometimes, they haven't seen their family, or they're not going to see their family for the holidays. So it's all about, if you haven't heard this term, it's soul familia, the soul family. It may not be your biological family, but there's people that would love to see you, love to have connection, communication, and experiences that create these, lifetime worth of memories. So
love that.
Thank you, DJ Shae.
Thank you, DTO.
Muchas gracias por todo. All right, everyone. We'll see you soon. Pura vida.
Pura vida.